This video is going to be another installment in the Rambo knife series here, where we take a look at several different hollow-handled survival knives. The knife we're going to be looking at today was suggested by a viewer, Disabled Prepper. It is the Maxam Survival Knife, and this comes with a couple of extra options some of the other ones don't have. But that's what we're going to be taking a look at next here on Survival on Purpose. Welcome back to Survival on Purpose, your home for information and gear reviews related to camping, survival, and general preparedness for regular folks. My name is Brian. Thanks for joining me, and as I said, this is going to be another installment in the Rambo knife series where we take a look at several different options for a hollow-handled survival knife, kind of reminiscent of the first knife in First Blood, Rambo First Blood, which I believe was made by a guy named Jimmy Lyle. And those knives, by the way, are still available today for like $2,000. The one we're looking at today is significantly less than that, and it was actually suggested to me by a viewer, Disabled Prepper. So he mentioned that he bought one a while back for like a couple hundred, $250 a couple of decades ago maybe, and that now they're available on Amazon for less than $25. So I went out and bought this one for $23, $22.95 I think to be exact. Haven't even opened it yet. I thought we would do one of the very few actual unboxings I've ever done. We'll open this thing up on camera, show you how it works, take a look at it. This one's got a couple of extra, at least one extra feature that has not been on any of the other ones we looked at so far. I'll be honest with you, my upfront expectations are not real high for a $23 hollow handle knife, but we're going to see how this one works, run it through its normal paces, and probably even do a little balance testing at the end if it lasts that long. So we're going to take it down the old stump top and get started right after this word from one of our sponsors. This video is sponsored by my friends at clickbelts.com, where you can save 15% by using the coupon code SOP15 at checkout. ClickBelts feature genuine Cobra buckles, and they are, by the way, the only place I know of that you can get anodized Cobra buckles for the colors. They have a full lifetime warranty, and they are sewn right here in the USA in the great state of Texas. And they have some of the best customer service I've ever seen. They've even got the really cool TSA-friendly poly Cobra buckle now. So if you're looking for a very, very strong, very cool belt, I encourage you to check out the folks at clickbelts.com. Don't forget, use the coupon code SOP15 to save 15%. Okay, so let's open this thing up and see what we got in here. Like I said, I don't normally do these unboxings because I figure most people don't want to sit through me unboxing stuff. But here we go. Wow, okay, so pretty impressive looking bunch of stuff so far. Let's take it out of the plastic, put that aside now. And at first glance, it looks really similar to the Harbor Freight model. You can see there's an Allen wrench, a little Allen nut right here. It's got this big fancy sheath here with another little secondary blade in here. We'll take a look at that too. What all else is in here? I don't know. Oh, look at that. Ah, see that? That's the old secret component there. This thing also has a slingshot capability. We're going to obviously try that out too. So let's talk about the knife first though. I'm pull up the specs on this thing on my phone. So let's have a look, see exactly what it says about the knife. So it says it features a 7 3/4 inch long, 1/8 inch thick blade with a total overall length of 14 inches. So it's a big old knife. And then it features a hollow zinc alloy survival tool capsule handle and a second 7-inch skeleton knife. It says this dependable Rambo knife is also equipped with a sheath attached slingshot with tubing and missile pouch, knife sharpener, compass, and scabbard sheath safety latch for extra security. So Maxam creates powerful military survival knives and innovative hunting gear that are affordable. So again, it doesn't really say what kind of steel it is in here. It says it's the best wilderness hunting knife, 21st century survival gear and hunting equipment. So there we go. Without further ado, let's take a look at the knife. So it's, surprise, surprise, it's a hollow grind with a Bowie style blade, kind of an offset. Feels pretty sharp little saw blade on the back of it. That grind is not really exactly even. And then the close up there on the bottom, you can see that grind's not exactly even there either, but feels pretty solid, no wobble in it. Nice little shoulder here for the blade to go in. Let's see what's in the old survival handle here, because yes, it is getting dark. Now, a little bit of a spring there to pop that thing out. That's kind of cool. Yep, there's a spring in there. You can just like, okay, we'll say that for later. Has a compass in here. We've got a survival kit inside. Let's see what's in there. Let me get you a close up here, show you the compass, and we'll compare this to the Casio compass. Can you see that north is this away? And you can see the north here, pretty close to the same. Hopefully you can see that. So that's the compass. Got the survival kit opened up here, and it features a little striker here. So we got a needle. We have 2 fish hooks, and I would say these are medium-sized hooks. A little scalpel blade here for finer tasks, I guess, or whatever. A little bit of fishing line here, and 1 safety pin. 2 little slip sinkers. I like split shot better, but some thread here for sewing repairs or whatever with a needle. A little pencil. Always good to be able to make notes and draw some maps or whatever. A little pair of tweezers, which probably aren't the greatest in the world. Probably not as good as the ones on my Swiss Army knife, but there's tweezers in there. Those could actually come in pretty handy. And I'm never going to get this Band-Aid back in there. And then 3 matches. And let's just see if the matches strike, because sometimes they don't. Now, I had somebody tell me I'm supposed to push matches, so we'll try that and see. What do you know? That worked. So the match did work, so that's good. So we'll save the other 2 for later. And the Band-Aid, see if we can poke it in there somehow. And there we did. Okay, so got that there. We'll put that back in the knife handle now with this little spring-loaded ejection system. The survival kit ejection system. And then we'll take a look at the knife. Now this is some sort of a zinc alloy handle. It's pretty big and fat, got these ridges around it. And it has this guard here with 2 lashing holes on it. The pretty good long blade and the saw back. So let's just have a look at this thing. Let me back you up again. We'll do a little quick knife testing. Then we'll hopefully before it gets dark we can check out the old slingshot thing and the other stuff and do a little balance testing. Okay, try to be fair about this. So we're going to do a little chopping just like we did on the other videos. We'll start with chopping, then we'll do a little batoning. We'll check this saw out a little bit, and then we'll see about starting a fire. And we will then we'll get to the scientific portion of our testing. That lanyard is going to be all in amongst my way, though. This is some pretty reasonably hard cedar, and probably a hollow grind is not the best grind to chop with, but and I know it's not an axe, but there we go. And so far, no looseness or play. So we'll do a little batoning. This is about the same size I baton for everything else, so I'll try to be fair with it. I wouldn't be trying to chop down, split logs with a knife in any kind of a survival situation anyway. So let's just do that. Split that out, get this a little dry. It's rained in a couple days ago, so this is one reason for batoning, to get to some dry wood in the middle. We'll do one more. Maybe do one more here. That one's a little bigger. Okay, now let's try some just a little feathering, carving kind of deal on this. Let's see if we can get some feathers here now. Because I'll be honest with you, the Harbor Freight knife, it wasn't carving at all. This one seems to be doing okay, actually. So, not too shabby, to be honest with you. And I'm kind of rushing. I'm sorry, but I've been really busy the last few weeks, and I can't seem to get home since the time's changed before it starts to get dark. So, to make these videos. So, as you can see, I mean, it's not cold steel sharp. It's not as sharp as the cold steel knife or the Russian knife, the Survivalist X, but it's actually doing pretty good on these little feathers here. So there's that. Let me grab us a ferro rod and see if we can strike us a far. Okay, so I've got the 5-Star Gear Mac Daddy ferro rod here. It comes with a striker, but I'm gonna, you know me, right? I want to see if this thing will strike it from the spine. It's got a reasonably sharp spine on it, feels like. Oh yeah, not bad. So let's now this is not really small curls, so it may take a minute. Look at that. Come on, burn, baby. Oh, there she goes. Okay, like I told you, this wood was kind of damp, so I don't need much of an excuse to drag out the old fat wood. This fat wood's been laying in the yard again for probably 5 years on the ground. This is why I love me some fat wood. So we can just carve us off a couple of little curls there and just scrape some of it. Oh man, you can see that. Would you just look at it? Oh baby. Well, I bet you we get us a far now. But before we do that, it would be remiss of me not to at least check out the saw. So let's, while I got you in close-up mode here, let's just do a little saw in here and see if this thing has any sort of effectiveness, because most of these saws don't really saw very well. They're really more for notching than anything else, which for making, you know, notches come in handy when you're building things with wood for shelter or traps or whatever. And gotta say, it actually not bad for its intended purpose. It probably would be a decent bone saw too if you needed to cut some sort of bone for some reason. But back to the fire. Oh yeah, fat wood works every time. There you go. And you get that kind of damp stuff going, and there we go. It's got a little, oh, maybe that's just the spring I'm hearing in there, but it's got a little twangy to it. So let's take a look at the rest of the stuff here. First of all, we got this other little knife here. Let's see how that goes. It says it had 1.5 inch blade, but I think it's more than 1.5 inch. The grind on this one actually seems a little better. I don't know what kind of steel it is either, but we'll just try a few feathers with that, because, you know, why not, right? Let's just get this one here. That's already carved on that one, so let's get this one here. Maybe that'll work. Let's see. This one's got a, man, I wish you could feel this. This one's got a decent edge on it. It feels really good. It maybe feels better than the other one. It does have a nice little edge. A little jimping here. Nice little line cutter / gut hook here. A little bottle opener there, because you never know when you'll need a bottle opener in a survival knife, right? Anyway, it carves pretty good. It also has a extremely long lanyard on it. Next, let's look at this sheath. Let's pull this out, because something that the instructions said it had a sharpening stone, but I haven't seen a sharpening stone in here. I don't know if there's anything else in here or not. Just a metal divider here with a little piece of rubber stuck on it to kind of protect the blade. And looks like a pretty good bit of cordage wrapped around it. It's not paracord, it's like braided cord. If you look at the way the knife goes in the sheath, it's ambidextrous, so it could go either way. It's going to go in the front slot, and then it's got a retention device like that. So this goes in here, I think, like that, and then it's got a secondary piece that goes through there like a little toggle to hold it in place. So that's actually just a little cumbersome to me. I don't know why they just put a buckle there. I guess it's okay. Extra little strap here. Not sure what that is for. Oh, I guess that's just to keep the belt loop on. So, okay, it goes there like that, and then you got this belt loop here. So another potential. I don't know if I like that system. If that thing popped out of there, it could open up and you lose your knife. I think. Anyway, I think that's maybe a potential problem. Maybe not. Anyway, and this thing functions as a slingshot. So those pop up there like that. It's got a little signal mirror on back too, which I'm sure is extremely useful. I'm being facetious because I'm not a big fan of those signal mirrors like that. Most of them don't work worth a flip. So here's what it says to do with the slingshot. You take the surgical tubing and cut it in half. You put one end on the, they call this the missile pouch or something like that. Lick it and try to get it up on there. And then same thing on the other end. I just realized as I stuck this thing in my mouth that it came from China, so there's no telling what sort of toxins I just got into my mouth. Just being honest with you, because they're not known for their environmentally sound practices over there, to be honest with you. So try to get this thing on there as far as I can, because I don't want to have any mishaps with it. And then do the same thing with this up here. I'm not convinced that that's going to hold very well, to be honest with you, but let's just pull it down as far as it'll go. Okay, so there we go. Now let's see how she works. We'll do the balance test and the slingshot test at the same time. Okay, so practical test. I'm really surprised this thing did pretty well. Did pretty decent on the chopping, okay on the batoning. It really had a decent edge on it. I was able to carve some good feathers. Has a great spine on it. I mean, so far I'm actually honestly surprised that the knife is performing as well as it did. The survival kit, it's about what you expect from something that goes in a handle like this, a pre-made kit. It works okay. So, and the compass seemed to be pointing in the right direction. So, but you know, here at Survival on Purpose Worldwide headquarters, we like to maintain a state-of-the-art cutting-edge knife testing facility, and we always like to test the balance of all the knives that we review here. And we use the balance, orientation, and rotation device there to do so. And we're going to do that in just a minute, but since we have the slingshot kind of function here, we're gonna go ahead and try that. I've got a target set up. You can see like right there, a little blue plastic thing in a water bottle. And I don't really have any slingshot ammo handy, but I did find some 3/8 nuts. So we're gonna try those. I've left the knife in here. We'll just see how she works. And ooh, man, hopefully I won't hurt myself with this thing, because I'm not really confident. Honestly, I'm not confident in it. But we're gonna see. We got the first nut in here. And let's just see what happens, okay? The missile pouch came undone, so I'll tell you what we'll do. While my saliva is drying on there, let's just check the balance. Let's go ahead and do the balance test on these knives, and we'll save the slingshot for last. So just because I like to be dramatic, we'll do the small one first. Not bad. Now we'll try the big one. Let's just see. When I did the Harbor Freight survival knife review, by the way, apparently my calibration was off, and I kind of hit the knife, banged a couple times, and it broke one of these off here. That was kind of cast metal. This seems to be harder steel, but I guess we'll see. Not beautiful, but she stuck. Okay, I gotta say, these little corners here, this kind of octagon thing, they're kind of sharp. They definitely interfere with the balance testing process, because I can feel them snagging on my thumb as I let go. So we're just gonna take that off. Take the survival kit out and see how she does now. Oh. Still solid. I have to say, I am pretty stinking surprised, honestly. Surprisingly impressed that this thing is solid as a rock. One more time, just for the fun of it. And that is so much fun. Okay, I'm gonna call it balanced. You wanna try the slingshot now? All right, I got it about as far as I can get it both ways there. I've got this on. It's not all the way up on it, but I just frankly couldn't get it all the way on it. Just weren't able to. So let's see what happens when I pull it back now. This side just keeps coming up. It keeps coming up. So we're going one more time, see if I can get it down there. Okay, we're just gonna go for it. Let me give me another piece of ammo. Put it in the missile pouch. And let's see what happens. Keep your eye on the blue thing there. Okay, you know what? Obviously, the slingshot ain't shooting, so that one just broke off. So, okay, well, we're gonna wrap this one up then. First of all, as you can tell, the slingshot, in my opinion, is a total fail. I kind of thought it would be. The sheath itself, It's functional. This kind of weird retention system there, the way that goes, it just slides up with a locking pin in it. I kind of get that, but I don't. To me, that just seems like that's an opportunity for it to come loose. I like the fact that it's got some cordage here, some usable cordage. And okay, I was looking for a whetstone. The whetstone is behind the cordage, so the whetstone's there. I kind of like this secondary little knife. It's good to have a smaller knife for smaller tasks. Which brings us to the knife, finally. The survival kit, you know, it's about what you would expect from a survival kit and a $20 knife. But the matches worked, so they weren't like all old crumbly matches, and seemed to do okay. I like the fact, honestly, that it had a little pencil in it, so you could, you know, draw yourself some sketches and maps, or even leave a note for somebody. The compass seems to work, and it's got a nice little O-ring in there I didn't mention that seems to make it, hopefully would make it waterproof. So, but the knife itself, I'm again pleasantly surprised. It just the edge held up well. It carved really well. It did a surprisingly good job of chopping and of you know, batoning light stuff. I was really expecting the chopping, between the chopping and the the calibration process of the balance testing, I expected the blade to get some play in it. Absolutely zero play in the blade. It's still rock solid, and it did a really good job at all the stuff you would expect a knife to do. It carved well, has a nice sharp spine. I like that. This notching teeth here did a really good job. And this sucker is balanced, especially if you take the compass cap off. It's probably not good for the compass cap to get banged around anyway. So there's the Maxam Survival Knife system. And again, I bought this one on Amazon for like 23 bucks. I have to say, for that price, I think it's a pretty good knife. I'm really surprised by this one. So stick around. Whenever we finish this series, I've got a couple more knives for sure to do in it. We're probably going to do like just a roundup of showing all the knives, comparing them, pros and cons, and everything else between each knife. So this will be definitely in there, and I hope this has been helpful. I'm having a lot of fun making these videos, just kind of to see what these things are available and what's out there. This one, again, kind of surprised me, and again, this was suggested by a disabled prepper on YouTube. So if you know of any other really cool, like hollow handle knives that would fit this series, let me know in the comment section below, and if I can, I'll try to get one. I'm still working on that Jimmy Lyle $2,000 one, but so far I'm not having a lot of success on that one. So Randall makes one too. Randall Knives makes one. It's about 600 bucks. So I might try to contact them. I'm sure they're just waiting, just itching to send somebody like me a knife. Anyway, I hope this has been helpful. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. And if you want to make sure you don't miss any videos, I invite you to subscribe to my weekly email newsletter at survivalonpurpose.com/subscribe, where you can get an email every week that tells you all the previous week's videos, plus any cool deals, offers, or just plain old rambling I think you might be interested in. If you click right down there, right there in that little box with a knife in it, that'll take you there too. So really appreciate your support. Once again, you're watching Survival on Purpose. Remember, survival's not an accident. So be prepared. I'll see you next time.